Hey YouTube, it's me, it's the man who likes to Rant, dropping a fresh VID for you today. And today, I want to take a little time to talk about another video about TNA and some of their recurring problems / predicaments / decisions that they've made that really have kind of made me go, I see what you're trying to do, but it's just not working. More specifically, I want to take this time to address their current world champion, Matt Hardy. Let that sink in for a second. Matt Hardy is your world champion. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that Matt Hardy is a bad wrestler. Him and Jeff have had plenty of moments where they wow us, tables, ladders, and chairs is synonymous with the Hardy Boys, and he can be a decent wrestler as far as singles. I say decent because his best gimmick was, of course, V1. But when you get down to it, if you look at Matt Hardy's body of work in whole, from the beginnings to where he is right now, does this man really scream to you that he should be the world champion? I just got done watching the most recent episode of Impact, and the very beginnings, someone needs to tell Matt that when he's trying to be angry and trying to make a point, that you really need to slow down and enunciate, because some of those words, man, like victims sound like victims. I'm like, Matt, what are you trying to say there, buddy? You can't have retakes. Although, is this recorded? I don't know. I'm stuttering and stammering. Excuse me for a minute. Matt is not a guy who handles the pressures well that comes with being a world champion. And while I'm at it, another small problem I have with the story is he's taken over, or he's not taken over, sorry. Tyrus, aka better known as Brodus Clay, has taken over being Matt Hardy's bodyguard instead of EC3. And that would be fine, I get it, because they did a switch where EC3 is now the babyface and Matt Hardy's the heel. Except, if I'm a guy running the company, I'm like, is it really a smart idea to have your world champion guarded by a man who is the number one contender to the World Heavyweight title? And by the way, how bad are things when a wrestler like Tyrus is your number one contender for your World Heavyweight title? I know that TNA's roster is ravaged, but there's nobody better. I wouldn't mind seeing Eric Young or Bram contending for the Matt Hardy title. And I say Matt Hardy title because it'd be refreshing to see a heel-heel dynamic instead of always having to search for the next babyface that can attempt to dethrone your champion. And there are other aspects of beg your pardon. Other aspects of the way Matt Hardy's character is being booked that bothers me. Reby Sky, or Rebecca Hardy now, as they're simply having her called, I can't stand her voice. Her voice is like nails on a chalkboard. I'm not saying it's like, Karen Jarrett, formerly Karen Angle, bad. At least she can speak well without reaching into that harpy scratching voice that Angle had. But, and the fact that the baby is always there, and I'm just like, a wrestling ring is not a place to have a baby in a long term. Or if you must have a baby with you, you could do it like Ricky Steamboat did at WrestleMania 4 and also at points when he was in the NWA near the end of his career. You know, that's fine because he's there. It gets you over because you have good family values and this, that, and the other. But, you know, Matt Hardy, he's trying. He is. And I think he'll end up being okay. He's not doing anything that will hurt his limited legacy. Because let's face it, without Jeff, we wouldn't even know about Matt. But, you know, he's doing the best he can and working with what he's given. Again, all the problems I'm focusing on, while they are Matt in execution, I won't put all the blame onto him because he's doing what management told him, and management is Dixie Carter, and Dixie Carter clearly, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, ever since she came into this company, has continually demonstrated that she has no idea what is going on, and that is not changing anytime soon. She needs to get better minds around her that can guide her product in a more promising direction. And you can't tell me that TNA doesn't have the money, because if they can go all these places, and the Carter family is rich, someone needs to just better dictate where the money goes so they can get a better return on their investment. I said it in my first TNA video that I did. I don't want TNA to fail. We as American wrestling fans need options. And a lot of us don't have access to New Japan. Nor are we going to go see New Japan or promotions like Dragon's Gate. So we need promotions like TNA and like Ring of Honor to be able to succeed. Because if WWE tightens their hold any further, and wrestlers don't have anywhere to go once they piss off Vince McMahon, what's going to end up happening is WWE is going to end up killing a brand that they have worked the better part of 50 years to establish. It's probably well beyond 50 years. You know, the options need to be there. There's promise in TNA because you can tell that everybody who works on that roster has a passion for what they do. They got into wrestling because they had a passion for it and they're trying to execute their dreams. But they don't have a lot of guidance, at least not from people who have credibility in the business that can walk up and legitimately tell a kid, you know, this is what you're doing well, this is what you need to work on. So they're spinning their wheels, they aren't getting anywhere. I'm curious to see if they'll have a back and forth reign between Matt Hardy and EC3 back and forth. I normally am against 50-50 booking, but in this case, I think it could prove to be compelling television, especially since I've already seen that these two can go out and have a match that really, really will make you go, wow, you know, that's the kind of wrestling that I grew up watching, and that's the kind that I miss. So, as negative as I was in my first TNA video, I don't want to be completely unfair. TNA is trying to do the best they can with what they have to work with, but they have a long way to go, and I don't know if they'll get there. It'll be one of those things where I think by the time, I hope, I should say, that by the time they do figure out what they need to do, it's not too late to reverse the trend, and we can once again have a viable second option that we haven't had since the days that WCW would close its doors. Anyway, that's my brief TNA / Matt Hardy World Champion rant that I kind of have. More of the Rumble retrospective will be coming soon. I catch you guys later. If you like the video, click that like button. It really helps rank up my channel. If you don't want to miss a video that the Wrestling Ranter puts out, just go and drop the bionic elbow on that subscribe button. And every time I make one, you guys will see it. I want my fan base to know I love you guys very much, and thank you for the interest you've shown in the channel. Catch you later, ranter off the soapbox. Goodbye.